what are the things that we can kind of develop using AI. So these are the dimensions that today we are going to cover. And we will also try to understand that how each and every industry is basically using AI. What are the different areas of each and every industry? Because in our course, we try to cover almost all the real-time use cases. Let me share my screen. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. So some of the previous examples that we have covered in the product management, we will get through, and then we will land into different questions that you guys might have it. So let's understand that what are the things that we cover uh, in product management, and as a product manager, what are the key areas that uh, do generally they keep in mind. Okay, so one is the product strategy. Okay, if you see, so before we jump into any given problem statement, or before we jump into any given solution, we try to understand that what are the different strategies that we can use to actually build the product. Okay, there are 7 to 8 canvases. Okay, those canvases are nothing but those are the tools. Okay, so we have 7 to 8 tools which helps us to kind of shape our problem statement, and definitely it helps us to kind of redefine the solution. So we have a problem statement, we have a solution, and then after we start developing it. So 7 to 8 canvases are there. Uh, those canvases helps us to identify and make us understand that whether the product or the solutions that we are building is going to help or not, or whether the solution is complete or not, whether we can build it or not with our current team or capabilities, whether we can do all of those or not. So that's why the product strategy has product vision, strategic impact, and business outcomes. So we measure all of them before we jump into the solution. Once we do that, then we have product execution, where we try to build those products, we try to build those features, what we determined in our product visions and road mapping. So in product execution, there are different phases, and we have near about 12 phases of product execution. So we cover all those 12 phases, try to understand that, uh, and these phases are again like they're temporal based. Temporal based means they're time driven. Okay. Based upon the project, we determine that, okay, this based upon the problem statement and the solution that we have to design, we determine that what areas that we need to kind of improve, what are the areas, is it simple improvement, or is it a new feature development, or some of the features that we are trying to build or develop needs to be uh, inherited from different third-party companies. Okay, so it depends. Like we do those plannings, and then we try to specifically build those solutions. And once we have, then there are two other side. So that's why you can see both are diagonal in nature, like product strategy, then product execution. And then you can see influencing people and customer insights. So influencing people, why? Like once you have done all the aspects of development, now how uh, we are going to engage end users. Okay. So that's where influencing people comes in picture. How we are going to engage end users, and And then we love to see that um, what are their insights, okay, customer insights. What are their thoughts over the product? Then only it will become a successful product, and over the period of time, we'll be able to scale as well. One of the important factor of product development is scaling your product, okay? Means there is a significant difference between solution and product. When you say product means it has to automatically run. So you don't have to kind of change your solution strategy every time when you sell your product. Okay, so that is very, very important. Solution can be different. Okay, so for an example, let's take an example to understand. Let's say you build a chatbot. Okay, your chatbot, and you build this chatbot for food delivery app. Now, the food delivery app chatbot cannot be kind of, we cannot keep on changing, right? We cannot just keep on, let's say today you sold to XYZ food delivery company. Let's say you sell it to Zomato, and then again you sell it to Swiggy, you sell it to uh, EatFit, you sell it to EatSure. There are so many food delivery platforms, right? So you cannot keep on changing your or customizing your solution uh, based upon each and every delivery apps, okay? If you are building a product. But if you are building a solution, then in that case, you can change. You have the liberty to change. So there is a significant difference between solution and there is a significant difference between product. Okay, so that's where you need to understand, when you build a product, it is scalable. When you build a solution, it is not scalable because you cannot sell the same thing to the same set of consumers or same set of customers. So whenever you are trying to build anything, so just determine whether you're building a solution or whether you're building a product. And then again, those determinations can be defined using those canvases, 8 to 9 canvases that we have. So using those canvases, we can basically determine whether uh, those product are the full-fledged scalable product, or those products are not scalable, or let's say we need to customize. So the example that we took, chatbot, if we have to customize, if you have designed your chatbot in a way that you have to customize every time before you install that for any given food delivery app, and if that customization needs some hours, then it is not a product. Your product is still very, very dependent. Okay, product should be something that it is ready to install. Okay, you are ready to install through a click, and once you install it, it should be ready to run. Okay, you don't need to customize it. So uh, if you are customizing your chatbot, then again you need to figure out how can you automate that. Okay, how can you automate that, and how can you make it self-adaptive so that you don't need to customize again and again. So, and every product has their own life cycle. So let's say you build a product for 2 years and then you are ready to use. You cannot keep on holding the entire development team building the same thing again. Like, or your strength of development team will actually go down. Okay, it will slowly get into the maintenance period, and there will be only R&D team which only works in the enhancement of the product. Okay, so uh, there are these life cycles are there, like you build it for 2 years, then you sell it for 3 years, and understand that what are the needs of end users, and then again incorporate those in the version 2, and then again, so every year you can release, or you can do it twice in a year. If you see iPhone, okay, it's a full-fledged product. Why? Because iPhone generally It gets launched every year. There is no dependency, right? You go and just buy it. It is just ready to install and ready to kind of operate. So they have to plan everything in advance. Okay. Maybe iPhone 17 and 18 is currently in the research and currently they are into manufacturing, because otherwise they won't be able to kind of release in the market in the upcoming years. So that's how they basically plan. So whatever we plan is much ahead, then the users will get into the use, because that's how the development works. So these are the four quadrants: product strategy, product execution, and then influencing the people, and what are their thoughts, what are their insights. Okay. And using these four quadrant, you can make your product very successful. And as I said, each of these quadrants, this is a very high level view. Each and every quadrants have very in-depth uh, detail uh, tools, and those are known as canvases. And using those canvases, we basically help to kind of understand that whether my product is a good market fit or not. One such example of the canvas I can show, uh, you can see this is called as pastel canvas. And the pastel canvas is basically political, economical, social, legal, technology. So this is known as pastel canvas. And it basically helps to understand that how politically you are safe, economically, how your product can impact, socially, how your product will impact, legally, how what are the different challenges that you might face once you launch this product, and then technically what are the challenges you will face. So this is called as pastel. Okay, so that you identify all the dimensions. So mostly the product owners may not think politically, may not think socially how it is impacting, but those are the necessary elements before you build the product and before you jump into the solution. So you can see we chose a digital health platform, which is nothing but this is our project to build a digital health platform. So what are the challenges that we might have politically? And you can see there are some small bullets. I'll just make it in a slideshow. Stability of government, political changes to the legislation, global influences, tax policies and regulations. So these are the factors which falls under political. So you can see that we have listed down all the 5 points which, so we are trying to build a digital health platform. Okay. So, and this is for US. So the country which we are referring is not India. The country we are referring as US. So de-identified data has to be stored. So this is possible. So whatever is possible, you just make it in a green. Whatever is not in your control, you make it as red. So you can see that potential threat for global health tech companies. So this is in red because um, this is it cannot be under our control. This we cannot manage. So this is in red. Then merger activity impact. So this can be controlled. While regional biases, policies related to GCC by governments, these are something that is not in our control. So we are making it as red. So out of 5 items, 3 are red and 2 are green. Similarly, if you see economic, so what are the factors that we take into consideration? Economic growth, employment rate, labor cost, inflation rate, monetary policies, consumer confidence. So these are the factors that we take into economical uh, uh, analysis. And just write down what are the things, what are the challenges that you might face economically. So you can see that first one, cost to patient will increase. Again, that can be controlled if you strategize your cost, if you strategize your product development, then you can manage the cost You can also introduce a lower cost. And there are different ways where you can introduce a lower cost. Next is labor cost will be high if GCC establishment is not allowed. So, like digital health of a different country is bit difficult to establish. So I hope everybody understand GCC. It's a global, um, what we say is command center. So let's say you have a company like uh, Optum or United Health Group. So United Health Group is one of the largest healthcare company which act as a payer. Payer means insurance payer. Now they have their entire engineering back office in India, right? So, but they have some restrictions. They cannot use some of the healthcare data, which are basically much detailed data of the patient, and which they cannot use if they are sitting in India. Okay, they can only use if they are in US or within the country. So these are the some constraints, some policies are there. Okay, for the global command centers, GCCs, we call it as global, or you can also call it as global capability centers, uh, to kind of restrict, okay, some of the policies, so that these policies are done for data security. And if the data should be secure, they should not get breached and all. So considering these thoughts, these policies are done. And because of that, there are certain turbulences that the companies do face. So for an example, the labor cost will go high if the GCC establishment is not proper. So um, in US, the pay parity is much higher. So if you don't hire the if you don't establish the GCC in other countries, not only in India, like Mexico is a good place to establish GCC, then there are other countries too. So uh, if you don't establish, then you will not able to manage the cost. So if the cost goes high, then definitely cost to patient will increase, right? So these are the factors that you might face as challenge. You cannot control the policies, so that's why we have marked it as red. Cost of infra will go high in correspondence to point two, because uh, in some cases, um, if the GCC establishments are not in place, the tariff of cloud services might change and might increase. So the tariff for US region are different versus the tariff for other regions are different. So that's why, like, these are the two downside factors. And while the rest of them are pretty controllable, like one-time charge will be high. So like this, we try to understand what are the factors that uh, can be controllable, cannot be controllable. We take a problem statement that we need to build a digital health platform. We try to understand that which is which can be solved using our thoughts and resources, which can be controlled. Let's see the legal one, okay? In interest of time, regional law, law enforcement, and court systems. So these are the factors that you need to think, that whether you're while developing a digital health platform, what are the things that we need to keep in mind? Ownership of data with provider. Provider means like hospitals. Okay. Let's say you build a digital health platform for the hospital. Who is the owner of the data? Hospital is the owner of the data. So we are not the owner of the data. So that's why we don't have much liability. Okay. So we will not regulate, uh, we will not fall under those regulations, those policies. Okay. If we don't own the data, and we don't want to own the data. Okay. Regulations on digital assets. Okay. There are certain software licenses and all that we need to kind of be aware. So those be aware, and as well as also try to understand that what when the cost increases, when the cost decreases, so what are the different regulations of digital assets. And then we have data breach regulation. Let's say today you are trying to build a digital health platform and you are also acquiring some services from third party companies. So for an example, you are using a speech to speech to text API from Google, okay, or from other companies. So you also need to kind of understand that what are the security uh, levers that the third party companies do have. So that is also very, very important. Otherwise, what will happen is, if you are, let's say you are choosing a vendor who is working with you, and at the same time they're consuming your data and using it for retraining or doing some XYZ, whatever it is, then you might fall into trouble in future. So you should also understand. So get these things in control. Okay, get the paperwork done, get all those. These are the areas where we need to consider our thoughts, that how we are going to use the data, how we are going to use the third party vendors, okay, and what are their designs. So we should also consider those areas as well. And then employee agreement on data breach. So this is another small problem. If any of your employees are basically going and breaching the data, so you should try to make it more secure. Let's say you are giving a dedicated VM, and that VM works in a particular VPN and like that. So that they cannot pull or extract any given data from that particular VM or VPN. So these are the areas that we have then. And considering all of this, what are your risks? So politically, 60% risk is there. Economically, 50% risk is there. Socially, also 50% risk is there. Legally, 0% risk is there. Technologically, 0% risk is there. So considering all these factors, we try to understand that, okay, pastel can, this is one of the tool, and there are again 7 to 8 tools which are available, which helps us to kind of understand that what particular canvas or what particular area that we need to focus on. So this canvas is more for the risk. There are other canvases which focuses on the other side, like let's say what are the GTM strategy, go to market strategy of your product. Okay, what are the scalability? There are canvases which talks about scalability of your product. There are canvases which talk about the tech specification of the product. There are canvases which talks about what are the priorities. So let's say you have 20 features. So that canvas helps you to kind of sort it down, that how will you prioritize those 20 features. Okay, and dependency graphs and all. So there are many tools that we use it in real time, so that's to streamline our decision as a product manager. And same time, we try to kind of also understand that how can we think from all dimensions. The use of these tools are nothing but how do we think across all the dimensions. Generally we get too much involved into the product daily task and all, but we might not basically think on what are the different dimensions that we need to focus on. Like nobody thinks politically, nobody thinks economically, right? Nobody thinks how socially your solutions are getting impacted. So these are the areas where these tools helps you to think in all aspect and helps you to kind of understand across. Any questions so far? So this was, so our course is basically splitted into two part. One part is how you take the decision as a product manager in terms of all the administrative tasks that you get through. So these are all the administrative tasks. Okay. This canvases helps you to kind of take those decisions. The second part, which I will now explain, that how AI plays a major role. What are the different type of solutions that we can develop. So those who are not very much well versed with AI, so for them, we have the second part. So the second part helps you to understand that what AI can do, and we try to kind of show you all the algorithms that are in place, which can be used to build different solutions. And how do you measure how much efforts are needed, and also those are also there with us, which is very basics. But more than that, technically you need to get sound so that you can work with the engineers, understand that how these algorithms works, and understand that when to use what algorithms, right? So these are the two major things. So we have the rest half to basically understand that what are the things that we cover in AI, and we'll see some examples over there as well. Any questions so far? I can see a question. What AI tools are used? Okay. Generally, when it comes to AI as a tool, so tools are very different. So there are association. So we basically focus on the core perspective of uh, AI algorithms, because you are the product managers, right? As a product manager, you need to work with the engineering team. Okay. And with the engineering team, they are basically going to build the solution, okay, along with you. Or they will basically be focusing on specific categories, like, for an example, computer vision, okay, natural language processing, natural language understanding. So these are the areas where AI comes into the picture. So for an example, you are building a self-driving car. Okay. You are working for a project which work where you build a self-driving car. So you'll try to understand that what are the things that are needed in self-driving car. Okay. uh, Computer vision algorithms. Okay. And also lidar is one of the very famous uh, system which basically helps to create a 3D map across your vehicle. And then there are comparison algorithms and all, which basically helps us to kind of build the self-driving car, right? So computer vision plays a very important role, and over there, object detection, okay, plays a very important role. So one of the famous algorithm is YOLO. I'll just show you. YOLO V3, okay, real-time object detection. So this is one of the very famous solutions that is out there. And using all YOLO, you can go ahead and basically determine different objects. Objects means anything. So you can determine, you can see bicycle, dog, truck, everything. So this is one of the tool like that helps to kind of determine the object. So like that, there are 1,000+ algorithms, or you can say it as a tool, which uh, we basically help you to understand, help you to learn, and then use it according to your business needs. Use it according to uh, your problem statements. So, in order to give you the complete details, so we will be sharing a sheet, Excel sheet, which has a complete detail, but I will still give you the dimensions, the different dimensions. What are the AI areas that we covered? So basically, we cover. Let me create a blank. So the first area that we cover is machine learning. Okay. In machine learning, uh, we basically get through regression. Okay. Then we move towards classification. We try to, we explain clustering. There are three types of clustering. We understand what clustering is. Also, association rules, very much used in e-commerce platform. Okay. Clustering is used in mostly by the social media platforms. Okay. Social media or marketing platforms, there where the clustering is used. Classification is used mostly for let's say uh, predictions or classifying. So for an example, whether the patient will have cancer or not. So these are the problem statement we cover. Or whether the patient will suffer from diabetes, yes or no. Okay. Or if the patient is suffering from diabetes, whether the patient will suffer from chronic kidney disease, yes or no. So these are the problem statement we cover in clustering. Then we take some example on the e-commerce platform, whether the patient will consumer will buy or not, whether the customer will buy in upcoming 6 months, yes or no, whether the consumer will purchase with certain dollar value, yes or no. So these are the things that we cover in classification. It can be multi-class classification and it can be two-class classification as well. Two-class means yes, no. Multi-class means it can have multiple other dimension, not limited to yes and no. It can have two, three dimensions. Similarly, whether the loan should be given to a particular uh, end consumer, yes or no. Okay. So these are the areas where classification comes in place. Then we teach association rules. This is used by Amazon and Flipkart, Walmart kind of companies. They use association rules. Then we teach decision trees, then boosting algorithms. These are the high level, like boosting algorithms, bagging algorithms, bagging algorithms. So these are the areas that we cover in machine learning. Near about 20 to 25 and different use cases that we will be covering across different industry, manufacturing, retail, finance. Eighth is we also learn about forecasting revenue, mostly used by finance teams. What are the different methodology that we use, like SARIMA, SARMAX, RMAX? These are the different algorithms. Like one particular category has multiple algorithms. Okay, like boosting algorithms, there are many. bagging, there are many. So one particular category has multiple different dimensions. Okay. So these are the different areas of machine learning that we cover in a very high level. I explained and also explained the uses. Okay. And then we jump into deep learning and generative AI. Okay. Because that is very, very important. Deep learning, what we cover is, let me write it. So in deep learning, we cover computer vision algorithms, OpenCV algos. We also cover NLP slash NLG slash NLU, natural language processing, natural language generation, and natural language understanding. So over there, use cases like sentiment analysis, okay, topic modeling, sentiment analysis, topic modeling. Then we cover how to build chatbots. Then we cover how to build question answering like your chat GPT. Okay. We'll also cover the basic understanding of how GPT works and how to build different GPT models, which include question answering, then converting text to SQL, rendering through multiple different unstructured data and documents. And then we straight away go through some tools like Rasa, Spacey. So these are the different areas that we cover. Some of the academic tools like University of Pennsylvania, UPenn, NLTK. We also, before eventually jumping into these specified areas, we also learn about neural networks. We learn about different domain specific neural networks. So these are the areas that we cover. We also cover language translation. Sorry. Language translation models. Okay. So there are many, like n number of use cases are there with respect to deep learning. Okay. We have a good set of examples of machine learning and deep learning. So these are the areas that we cover. So two dimension, as I said, one dimension is the functional aspect of product management. The second dimension is the AI aspect, where you should know how you use AI to basically understand and build different set of products, and how can you take a proper decision, or how can you basically make different AI products more successful. So that is where you can make use of. Yeah, open for any questions. Do you have any questions? Anybody?
Friends, you guys are there? Am I audible to all?
Yeah, you are audible. Yes.
Uh, Guys, could you please drop your queries? You can unmute yourself and drop your queries. If you have any queries in terms of technical and functional or any other sort of an query, uh, we all are available to address all your queries, to discuss anything which you guys would like to, in terms of your ongoing profiles, in terms of your concerns, queries. We would be able to address and contribute. You can unmute and speak to us. Anyone would like to connect? Anjali, I think you had certain queries. Would you like to discuss? Guys, I'll be available from the MCI team for some time now, but the instructor will gonna leave out soon. So if you have any technical queries in terms of program, product understanding, your ongoing profile, quick, smooth transitions, please get it cleared now. I'll be available a, a bit more for more timelines. So, but instructor will gonna leave out soon. Please, if you have any queries, put it right now. I'm checking for one last time. If you have any queries in terms of technical understandings or functional understanding, uh, please raise your voice now. Else, instructor will gonna leave out. Rishabh, I think seems people don't have much queries out there. I think if at all people do have any queries, they can put it onto the WhatsApp group. I think you'll get the notification, and then you can respond it over there itself.
Cool. Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
Thank you so much for your time, Rishabh. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you in our course. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I'll be available from the MCI team here for now. If you have any queries, anything further, I'll be happy to address the rest of the part. Anyone would like to connect and discuss anything further? Okay, so you can unmute yourself. I would be happy to do the conversation with you. If you can unmute and let whatever be the queries you have it, I would be happy to address. Yeah, Chetna, please. I'll address this thing. So this would be I'll just give it a program, give it a brief. So this would going to be pure online and a live course where we'll be scheduling the entire curriculum for you from session one till the last session. This the program will be stretched around like 60 plus hours of online delivery before concluding the sessions. That includes all the functional, marketing and technical curriculum, the integration of the entire AI product management. You'll be exposed to many industry use cases and the real-time projects that has been going on right now. How you have to work out as a AI product manager with your teams, and how to approach a product or the towards the senior management. What what you are supposed to be expected and supposed to execute. In coming to the terms, in terms of fees, INR 25K one-time fee of the entire program. Will not go with any subscription model. 25K plus the taxations are there. Whatever be the minimum taxations are there, we'll take it out. In terms of USD, in terms of USD, it would be somewhere around like 320 USD, including all the taxations and the platform charges. Like PayPal would be our platform for the transactions. We do not put any burdens of any subscription models to you. We'll take only one time a bare minimum fee, and then you'll be given the access of the entire schedule. So you'll be given the dates, the timeline, when you are supposed to come, and like we are doing the on live session now. You're supposed to connect with your batchmates and your instructors. Rishabh will lead the show, so you'll be getting connected with the instructor, and there how your the journey will takes place. You'll be given to the access of our LMS, where we'll be keep parallel doing the recording of the entire live session, and we'll be uploading onto our LMS. Similarly, you will be given the data and the assignments or the parallel learning materials will be uploaded onto your respective LMS. Post completion of the program, I think will be allow you, probably will also give you the access of our community portals, where we keep working with the professionals and the our networks worldwide, and we'll be keep pushing publishing the opportunities available into our network or our parallel network, partners network. We'll be uploading it out over there for your support to get a smooth transitions wherever either you wanted to get into the US or Europe or to the Indian markets. So it depends like. And then probably you'll be also get issued the certificate from our brand by the end of the program. Anyone would like to discuss anything into it? Anyone wish to connect and discuss anything further? Anjali, Avinash? Uh, Sounds great, guys. I think we are available on WhatsApp, over email. I think you have all the links are with you. You can drop a message. Our team will come and connect you. We'll be soon launching our new batch for last batch testimonials or experiences. You can reach out to us. I think we'll put the last batch testimonials over the WhatsApp group or to your email, registered email IDs, where you can go and validate or check it out. How was the experience being created to those folks who have completed the program. Shall we conclude now?